It's time that we look at 10 running backs that could give you a boost for your fantasy football team. A lot of you guys got drafts over the holiday weekend. Some of you guys have already done drafts and you're looking at the waiver wire for the future. We're going to cover a little bit of everything with these 10 players to help you get ready for the season. You want to watch the video to the end because the last player is one of my favorites and he's got a ton of upside and might do big things and he's dirt cheap. Before we dig into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stop missing out on this content because we're covering players every day. We're doing deep dives. We're doing multiple lists of players, going over their information so you're informed on when to draft, who to draft, strategize, whatever you need to do with these players to help build your team and win your league. Hit that button right now. Stop missing out. Today we're going over 10 running backs and we're going over some different guys. First off, Kenneth Walker, RB16 ADP. He's been banged up this training camp, but he should be back and ready to go for the start of the season. Gets a lot of red zone carries. Highly athletic. Really blew up the combine last year when he was coming out for the draft prior to the start of his rookie season. Good size, adjusted athleticism. Can really take the top off when he hits that second level. We do have Zach Charbonnet there. Competition in the backfield, but that also tells us that this team wants to run the football. They want to use their running backs and they want to make sure they're good at the running back position. We should still see him get a good enough workload to be productive, and as long as he's on the field, he's good to pop off a few good runs. And looking at his production last year from a fantasy football standpoint, he was tremendous. He was consistent. He had upside weeks and he had a good stable floor. I don't see that really going away. This Seahawks team is a team to be bullish on because they have built some good pieces, and this offense could click a little bit. And him and Zach Charbonnet, those two might end up in and out of lineup the way things have been trending in camp recently because those two are both banged up off and on throughout the offseason. So this is a running back depth chart to watch, but we're also getting him at RB16, RB2 price point here. So even if he's sharing the backfield and gives you RB2 numbers, he's giving you what he's priced at. At this price tag, you're buying a very talented running back who can be an RB1 if given a full workload, who can really go bonkers, give you upside weeks on any given Sundays, give you 30, 40 fantasy points, and be a huge performer for your team's scoring output. Kenneth Walker has that upside. You're catching him at a discount compared to what he would have been if they didn't draft Zach Charbonnet. That's baked into the price. So it really depends if you want him or if you want to wait for Zach Charbonnet. I think he's good too. I think I like both these running backs for what they are. The price is what matters though. I think Walker's got a Zach Charbonnet discount to his name, considering the upside, considering what he did as a rookie, considering the volume in this offense as well. Looking at Alexander Madison at RB18, we really haven't talked about him much. We talked about him earlier this offseason, but now things are clear here. Dalvin Cook's gone. They brought in Myles Gaskin, but the thing is, Alexander Madison's going to get the workload. He's going to get the opportunity. And when Dalvin Cook's been out of the lineup, he has been productive, even though it's a very small sample size. That's 20 points per game. That's happening with more receptions out of the backfield, averaging 3, but prior to that, less than 1. We're getting more opportunity, more production. So we could have RB1 production out of him or high-end RB2, maybe some spike weeks. We like this Vikings offense. They can push the ball downfield. They can move the chains. They do a lot of good things. Justin Jefferson and company will keep the defense honest. They can't stack the box to take him out. So there's a lot of good things for Alexander Madison. So we got to check the volumes. We got to see what's going on. But he's going to have good opportunity. So as long as he's on the field, he should be okay. And you're getting him at a good price tag. Next is J.K. Dobbins, RB20 and ADP. So what we like about him, he's very efficient. Came on strong at the end of last year. But that injury, his injury history, has been a pain in our side. That is our big problem with J.K. Dobbins. He hasn't been on the field much these last few years, but when he was on the field, he's always been efficient. He's always been electric. He's always looked good, unless he was straight up coming back from an injury. Then he needed a little bit of ramp-up time. But J.K. Dobbins always looks good when he's on the field. He just has to be on the field. You're catching him here at RB20 price point. Low-end RB2 value in drafts right now. A decent discount. We also got Todd Monk in there. We're expecting an increased pace of play. So we could see more plays ran, which could impact positively his upside, making him more of a factor because the more plays ran means more opportunity. That could be a couple more rushing attempts for the running backs. Again, he's a very efficient running back when he has the ball in his hands. He's electric, can really be 2 steps in a cloud of dust. Fun running back here, cheap. If you want him, you can get him, or you can go back and get this guy, Cam Akers, RB23. The reason why the running backs are so shaky right now in the 20s is because all the good running backs have already been drafted. That's just common sense, right? So you're getting Cam Akers at RB23 price point. Compared to last year, it was a little bit more. And now you're catching him where he's coming off a good run at the end of the season. The Rams did not draft any running backs of consequence. They drafted Zach Evans, but he was a late-round pick. Hasn't really been flashing the upside in camp and in preseason. We got Kyron Williams there, but he's not going to beat out Cam Akers. Cam Akers, as long as he's healthy and on the field, he's getting volume. Here you're drafting volume. Here you're drafting opportunity. And this guy does have good pop in his step, enough athleticism to take it home, to give you some upside, and you're getting him on the cheap here. Really, you're drafting touches here. He should be getting touches. You should be seeing something comparable to the back end of the season once we start the year. And then after that, it's just health concerns from there because he does have an injury history that we have to fall back on and think about. But also, when we look at running backs, they all have that potential to go out any given week due to the nature of the position. Next, though, James Conner, RB26 and ADP. When he's healthy and on the field, he's very productive. But the Cardinals' offense is scary right now. Quarterback situation, scary right now. We know he's getting touches. We know he's going to get volume. You're drafting touches here. You're drafting touches on a low-volume team. That's what you're looking at here. James Conner can give you some production. He might be able to hold down the lineup for you in some weeks. Might even have a couple pop-off games because he's going to have to cross the end zone a few times if he's getting volume because that's what the numbers would say. James Conner, at this price tag, is an all right get because he's going to give you consistency. He's going to give you touches. You know what you're going to get week in and week out. You just don't know if you're going to get the high end or not, but you're not going to get many low-end games, 7, 8, 5 fantasy points. You're going to get a stable production. You may not get as many top-end weeks as you want to help you win your weeks due to the nature of this offense until they start bringing in more players. That may not be this year. More likely not. So this might be horrible for Conner. Might be all right, though. Might be all right. We might be getting enough volume in the passing game, playing catch-up. We might be getting some rushing attempts. We might have some pop-off games where you just got to play the matchup. And you're getting him at a good price tag here because you know he's going to be getting volume. And volume is key for running backs. Next is James Cook, RB29 ADP. We want the Bills' offense because this is an electric, explosive offense. James Cook is used well in the passing game, targeted on 30% of the routes that he ran last year. Pass protection is key here because he's not going to be used on it because they're going to have him running routes, which means more likely to catch dump-offs, more likely to be catching passes downfield, which is huge. Josh Allen averaged 35 pass attempts per game, and 19.6% of his targets went to the running backs. So, again, there's a lot of good opportunity here for Cook. He's been looking good in preseason. He's explosive in the open field. Could really give you some upside weeks here as well, as long as his offense is cooking and he's being efficient. Next, RB30. We haven't talked about him much, but Isaiah Pacheco had some injuries throughout the offseason, but looking like he's going to be okay. And he has been productive, especially at the tail end of his rookie season last year. High-end athleticism, 4.37 40-yard dash, 99th percentile speed score on the most explosive offense in the league. RB30, he's sharing the backfield. You don't know what the snaps are going to look like, but Pacheco has really earned his stripes from what we've seen here. You're getting him at a cheap price point with this upside that you can see and stability as well. As long as he's healthy, he's on the field, he should be giving you something. And if you're going hero RB, zero RB, he's probably one of your targets because you want this offense. You want an athletic running back. You want a running back in an ambiguous situation. He's checking all those boxes for this. Isaiah Pacheco is a guy you want to look at here, especially as an RB2 and RB3 team if you're playing straight up in your draft with no strategy. That's a good running back to look at as well. And at RB33, Antonio Gibson has a lot of upside because he's tremendous in the passing game. J.D. McKissic's gone. That means 40 targets from last year. Has to go somewhere else. Again, the volume could be different, but still, the share of Antonio Gibson in the passing game is something you want on your team, even though he's sharing the backfield. The fact that he can be split out as a wide receiver, the fact that he gets a tremendous amount of targets, and he could be seeing more, his athleticism, his ability to really pick up yards in the open field, can really give you some spike weeks, and the targets on a week-to-week basis elevates his floor. The price tag's there for a player like this. He is a candidate for ZRB, here RB, because he's just one of those guys that you want to start stacking your running back position at, because he's used in the passing game, has size to be used between the tackles, can get you touchdowns, and he's a guy that can give you a return on the investment due to how he's used in the game. Next, Devin Achane, RB44 and ADP. I had to add him in, and I'll probably do a full video on him very soon, because a lot of people are in the comments asking if they should drop him for this guy or that guy, like an Evan Hall or something. This is a pure upside play. Pure upside play, pure lottery ticket. When we say that, there's a chance that this is very boom bust. There's a chance this could go bust on you pretty big, but he's very cheap. But there's also a chance he goes nuclear. You have to realize what you have on your team. There's a chance he goes nuclear, and you do not know when that happens throughout the season. That could be week 1. That could be week 11. You have to be patient when you draft a running back like that. If you can't be patient with a running back like this, stay away. Just stay away. Because you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to have this roster spot here. You're going to have to make decisions. It's going to cause stress. You're going to make the wrong move. Maybe he pops off. Maybe he doesn't. If you don't know what you have here, and you know that you're not going to be patient, you might as well not make the move. But if you do know what you have, you want the upside, you want the lottery ticket, good guy to get at. Elite 4.32 speed, explosive, used in the passing game. Good offense for him to be in. This is the perfect spot for him. When things start clicking, you could be getting an opportunity. Dealing with a shoulder injury, they said it's week to week. That could be month to month. We don't know. We don't know. That's also baked into the price tag because he's been dropping in ADP. He's probably dropping in home drafts. And anyways, probably even cheaper than that. The thing about that, you got to know what you're getting. This guy is a time bomb to explode or a time bomb to bust. But the upside's there. We love it. We even got the draft capital behind him to support him. A good running back to look at. And the guy that I love this year, the underdog prospect, Sean Tucker, RB69. Upside for days. I'm talking top 10, top 5, upside. They're calling him Baby Nick Chubb for a reason. He looked like that at Syracuse. We've been waiting for him to come out for the draft. Fell out of the draft due to a heart condition, not because he sucks. And now he's playing well. He's getting working with the first team in practices because we're hearing reports that Rachaad White will start the reps or finish the reps. Sean Tucker's mixed in. We're seeing him look good in preseason here and there. We're seeing him look good in training camp. We're looking at the clips. Prolific running back coming out of college. Catch the ball in the backfield. Run it between the tackles. He's got some juice in the legs. He's explosive. Can really do everything. Now we have to see him come back to his old form and click, which is very likely to happen if he gets the opportunity. So Sean Tucker's the guy we're in on. But let me know which running backs you're in on, who you're trying to get. We've covered all the running backs pretty much. I might have missed a few, or some guys have been covered a lot by a lot of other channels. But let me know who you're trying to get. Who do you want? Because we've covered everybody. We're trying to get you the information, trying to help you out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next